Welcome to Navigating the Truth, and it is March 19th, 2023, and I have a return guest, Zo'i Graestone, and her spiritual journey. So enjoy.
Right.
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth, and this lovely Sunday. We are in the evening time where I am. Some of you are in the morning time, some of you are in the afternoon, and welcome to the listeners. And thank you for joining me on Sunday. It is the 19th of March, and we are rolling on through the year, and I am excited. Today, I have my return guest, Zo'i Graestone. She is a creator, a published artist, and a manifester. She is an anomaly and full of boundless energy. You can actually feel it through the phone or through the internet. Perhaps this is why she attracts so many entities into her existence. Zo'i has worked with all kinds of people in her life, growing up in the theatre and around the opera. She is the daughter of an empath and of an artist. On all sides of her family tree, she has creators and musicians, artists, authors, and magic. Coming from a predominantly Celtic bloodline, Zo'i is able to heal, see auras, and communicate with ET and supernatural beings. Originally from Boulder, Colorado, she has lived in Las Vegas, Nevada, Eugene, Oregon, where her spiritual journey has granted her countless experience that she has... Oh, wait a minute, dude. Countless experience that she has been granted the ability and desire to share. She currently resides in Austin, Texas, but that has changed. She is back in Colorado. Welcome, Zo'i. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me again. I'm very excited.
Oh, I'm very excited to have you here. You're becoming a regular. I was just saying that, like, before we went live, you're becoming a regular on radio.
It's so cool.
I love it. I love it.
It's
Are you getting comfortable? Are you
Oh
comfortable?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's much easier once you do it a couple of times. I used to tell Solaris I get really bad stage fright, and I get like the pre-show jitters like real bad. And on her show, I would panic because I hadn't done it before, and then like the more I've done it with her, the more comfortable I've gotten, and it kind of just feels like I'm having a regular Skype chat with like just my friends, my homies, and then other people just happen to be listening, and so it's a little bit easier.
Yeah, we're letting them eavesdrop for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think being a magician, it would make it less awkward, but it doesn't.
No. So I think it's about a month, isn't it, since I had you on?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So tell me, what has been happening in your realm?
Oh my gosh, not as much as I would have thought, but my mom has been seeing stuff in the sky lately, and we can't tell anymore if they're planets, if they're UFOs, if they're planes that are just like glitching in time. Like, I genuinely don't know, because when I look at them, I'm like, that is a suspiciously large thing in the sky, and people are like, oh yeah, it's just like a planet, and I'm like, that's bigger than a planet usually is in the sky. And sometimes they move and sometimes they don't. And it's really, I was telling I think it was Bill, or maybe it was Rick on one of the other shows on that I was saying, like, it's funny to me because my parents don't usually see stuff, and they don't usually talk with me about it. They both get a little bit uncomfy hearing the like weird stuff that happens because they don't know how to process it. But my mom, like, seeing stuff and be like, what is that? It's been really exciting because I'm like, yes, finally, you can see it too.
The veil has lifted, huh?
Yeah. And my brother, too, he's been talking about some of his experiences and the crazy stuff he's been seeing. And I'm like, finally, yes. And then people are calling me and they're like, you'll never guess what just happened. And I'm like, please tell me. Tell me all of the things. Like, yes, welcome to my world.
Yeah.
It's been very exciting.
Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think it is that you are all seeing?
I definitely think it's some kind of UFO personally, just because half the time I have a couple videos that I showed Solaris when I saw her fairly recently, and it genuinely just looks like stuff is pretending to be something stationary in the sky. And so to me, I'm like, it is for sure something going on in the skies, especially because we had all those like weather balloons or whatever, the Chinese spy balloons. I don't even I think it was only one Chinese balloon. I think the rest were like other weird UFOs. But and I mean UFO is in like actually unidentified flying object, not necessarily ET, but I don't know what else is going on in the world anymore. Everything's crazy. And so I'm like, I don't know what's in the sky, but all the weird dreams I had years ago of being picked up and put onto these like cities in ships in the sky is starting to make a lot more sense. And I'm like super excited because I'm like, ooh, maybe I'll see some of those beings again. But like not in the dream state. So I can actually like remember the conversation since they don't like you taking that information back with you for some reason. Like, why do we have this chat if you don't want me to remember? Like, listen, man.
You know, I had similar things happen like throughout my life, and one of the things there were like these regular beings that would show up, and every time that they would show up, I would say, "Why don't I remember this?" You know, and
I feel that.
I would say it to them like I wasn't afraid or anything. It would just be like, this is getting annoying. Why don't I remember this? Like, and one of them at one point, like, and they were short little dudes, and he came up to me and he said, "You will remember it all from now on." And he touched my forehead, and
so
with
cool.
this little, it was like the ET thing. Like, it's like a little glowy thing that touched my third eye, and I still didn't remember, so I was really annoyed. But no,
I'd be like, "This is a scam,
right?" And it's like I can kind of see behind, like it's like, who is that man? Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Oh yeah,
you know?
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, so now it's kind of pulling back the curtain and going, that's who you were all along, huh? You know?
Right?
Yeah.
I've had so many interactions where I've been like, oh, do I get to like remember this? Is this like a take-home box of information? Or is this just you can only eat at the restaurant? And I remember them just kind of looking at me like, what? And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna have this like later or like this is just happening right now. And they're just kind of like, yeah, go home. And then I wake up and I'm like, dang it! Like, I know something happened.
Dang it.
I know something happened.
Yeah.
It sucks too when I get like lucid and then I'm suddenly like, I know what's happening. And they're like, okay, bye. And then just like stuff me down. And it's like, oh. Okay, rude, but all right.
Yeah, it's rude. And like, it's really rude. It's really rude. Like this whole like idea that we don't get to remember what we know, and we have like evidence, like sometimes it's on your body. But pull back that curtain, just pull back that curtain because it's not what it's saying it is.
Right. And that's my thing too, is like so that's how I got into magic. I was so sure that being a magician meant doing like real magic. And for some people it does.
It does, yeah.
But particularly I was like, how did you do that? Like my brain couldn't make sense of certain tricks because I was like, I know that you're tricking me. I know that this is a lie. But what I'm seeing is confusing me because it looks so real. So it's like, how did you do it? What is this? What's the secret? And then people are like, you don't want to know the secret. It'll ruin it. And I'm like, no, I want to know the secret because I want to do it too. This isn't for me to tell other people. This is between you and me, my guy. And even with aliens and like supernatural stuff, like spirits and things, I'm like, listen, I need to know what's going on. I want the truth. And then sometimes they give it to me and I'm incredibly overwhelmed. And I'm like, well, that was a mistake. And then other times I'm like, you won't give it to me. And that makes me more frustrated. Like I straight up, I think I was telling you last time, I was like, I had that experience where I met God and he was like, what do you want to know? And I was like, everything. I was like, tell me all of it. I want to know everything, like all of the everything, good, the bad, the ugly. And he was just like, I don't believe you, but okay. And then things started to happen, and I was like, nope, just kidding. I lied. I fibbed. And I went inside and had my meltdown, and my mom was very concerned. And I was just like, it was one of the few times where I was like, you know what? This is terrifying, and I don't actually want to know anymore. Like, it's okay.
Wow.
We'll put that on the back burner.
Well, there is like some of these like what would you call them? Like higher learnings, higher understandings, like as we go through our journey, like through this, like what would we call it?
Right.
What would we call
the
this?
Ether? I don't know.
Yeah,
I always call it the ether because I'm like, it's just sort of like I don't know. It feels
like
like
a dream world.
Yeah.
A dream world, but it's like a kind of nightmare dream world, Yeah. But it does feel like a dream. Like, it doesn't feel but then again, my dreams when I would lucid dream were a lot realer than anything I had experienced here.
Yeah, I actually worry about being dissociative because of that. Because when
Mm-hmm.
I was a kid, I would have these experiences where I'm like, everything that's happening is like super unreal. Like, I don't feel real. And I was told for a long time that that's part of like dissociation and like it's a mental disorder. But I was like, okay, but this happens all the time. Like, I don't think this is like a trauma thing. Like, I think the world just doesn't feel real. Because when I have dreams, my mom and dad both in the past have said that they don't understand how I have such vivid dreams with so much detail. They think I'm, making it up and I'm just like adding stuff to it. And it's like, no, my dreams are really that vivid. Like, I used to freak my dad out because he's like, well, I have vivid dreams, but I don't remember details like that. And I was like, I just pay attention. I don't know. Because sometimes I can't tell.
You're aware. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're conscious. Yeah.
I'm just like, how real is it? I always try to feel something or smell something, or like I try to touch things to like process, like, what does it feel like? And if I can't process what it feels like, I can tell myself that it's probably a dream because typically I can feel things, But there are some times in those experiences where I can tell you exactly what the ground felt like what the smell of the moss was. Everything felt wet. I could hear things. It wasn't just like gobbledygook.
Right.
And for some people, they're just like, that is absolutely mind-boggling. Like, I don't think that's possible. And I'm over here like, no, but I do it all the time. This isn't just like a one-off occurrence. Like, this is like all the time. Like, I have more dreams like that than I have no dreams.
Yeah.
And when I have no dreams, I know something suspicious happened because I always have dreams.
Something's up. Yeah, something's up. Yep. Well, like, Solaris has touched on, like, well, she gave like her idea of what is going on as far as the dreams, like they're digital, like well, I was looking more into that. See, one of my things is when I hear something and it feels like there's truth there, I will start digging. I start like looking for like maybe ancient texts that might.
I get nosy.
Yeah, very nosy. I start digging around, and I came across something that was talking about like the stream of consciousness and like the stream of like see if I can break this down so that I'll be able to like explain it better, because sometimes I jump all over the place. That like, see when you're chanting, like, have you ever like been at an event where they're all chanting and you're all chanting together or you're singing together? They talk about there being like it becomes like an energy of its own. And certain chants you're just tapping in like to the actual energy that has accumulated through this chant air, whatever it was, thousands of years or hundreds of years. I think that's what's happening to our dream realm, is like, you know what I mean? Like there's some, because it's for sure not what we thought it was, this realm that we find ourselves in, like as we break through like different barriers, that it's definitely not what we think it is. Now, think of the thousands and thousands of people or millions of people even who dream and have nightmares and like all different kinds of things. What if there's some kind of collection happening?
That would make more sense to me.
to do with the frequencies, you know, if it's
Yeah.
a fear-based experience, if it's a loving-based experience, like just depending what the experience is. Like a lot of times I used to, I was deliberately seeking out the afterlife, like for a long time until I figured that's not really where I want to go anymore.
Right. I feel
You
that. I
know,
feel that.
but it was more, again, it's got something to do with how I am, which is I seem to investigate till I get to the bottom.
Yeah, I
Just,
do.
yeah,
That's how I get into all my trouble. I get very snoopy.
yeah.
But yeah, it's if you give me information and then you leave it real vague and walk away, like I cannot help myself. So if you don't want me knowing things, don't leave information around, because I even if it's just a piece of paper on the table that you think is insignificant, I'm gonna notice it. I don't know why, but I
You're
just
observant.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just I see things and I just pay attention just in case, because maybe you need
Mhm.
that piece of paper. But if it's just sitting there and nobody's acknowledging it, I'm probably going to look at it to make sure that it's nothing important. But like if there's any kind of like vague secrets, I'm going to be like, ooh, what's this?
Store that away for later.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, let me just put that in the memory book. We'll just put that in the file folders, and we'll come back to that later. And it's kind of funny
Yeah.
too, because yeah, with the dreams and stuff, I'm wondering, because I was making a comment to a friend recently too, that like I've had these dreams where recently a friend of mine has been in them, and both times he was in it, he looked at me and he was like, "Is this my dream or your dream?"
Wow.
And I was like, "We don't ask those questions in dream places, sir. Like that is we don't shush."
rules.
And then I'm over here like, well, I don't know. Why are you asking me? Why would you assume I would know? And his answer was, this sounds like you're kind of weird. So this feels very much like something you would be involved in. And it's like, oh, okay. So one of us is clearly dream walking. I don't know which of us, since like you're seeing the same things I am. So I don't know which one of us. Maybe it's neither of us. Maybe it's one of these other participants over here. And it's just, it makes me uncomfy when they look at me and they're like, "Did you do this?" I'm like, "What? How dare you?" Maybe. I don't know. It's like, I don't always know what I'm doing like before it starts. I don't figure things out until like you just become conscious in dreams sometimes, and you're just kind of like,
How did I
yeah,
end
that
up here?
happened. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
this is what we're doing today.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, though. There's got to be some kind of a dream collective, because I often have dreams about lots of people that I know and people that I don't. And I've met people in real life that I've had dreams about. Like I manifested this dude out of my dreams a couple years ago, or actually last summer. And unfortunately, it didn't go very far. It was a big bummer. We started talking about ETs and his abduction experience. He got really freaked out, and he just like sort of became a different person. And I was like, oh, that's unfortunate. I was like, there was so much potential with you, sir. I literally dreamt about him for weeks, and then all of a sudden he popped up in my messages and was like, "Hey, can I take you out sometime?"
Oh,
like,
wow.
where did you come from? Like, you literally walked out of a dream. And then he had told me about a dream he had that he thought I was in, but I looked a little bit different. And the way he described me was like my dream alter. She looks more like a cat, but kind of a tree. I don't know how to explain it. It's a very bizarre concept, but more than one person has described it to me. So I imagine like the movie Avatar by James Cameron, the big, tall, lanky cat people, but they also have like branches or something coming off of them because they're very tree-like. But like more people have described that to me over the years, and I'm like, all right, so you are obviously seeing me, and I'm wandering through y'all's dreams. Sorry, my bad. Like, don't leave the doors open when you go to sleep, I guess. But it's kind of like, I don't know. I seem to pick up on that stuff a lot. But being that there's so many common people, you're right. I think there would be some kind of collective you're tapping into, kind of like in like drum circles and stuff, always bring interesting energy. And usually they're all coming from the same place, but like the energy can change so quickly in large groups like that. It just takes one person influencing the group intentionally and like powerfully,
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can definitely tell. And like you can tell when they're churning up energies, when like, and you can become aware of the different shifts in it. Like I've had cool experiences in drumming circles, sweat lodges, like that kind of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I've even had people try to hijack what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember.
bet.
Yeah, I remember being in one circle, and I can't remember what the direction was, but it was like a drumming circle, and we were there wasn't many ears, there was maybe half a dozen ears, and the direction was like whatever it is that you're working on, you know, like during the drumming, like go on your wee journey and find out. And one of the things that happened to me was like I didn't really have a specific thing that I was working on. I just kind of started wandering around like in my own kind of mind realm.
Sure.
And all of a sudden, I would see DNA strands. I would see different DNA strands, and they would light up blue, like really, really
cool.
blue. Yeah. So I was looking at that, and that was all I basically saw. I just kept seeing DNA strands, and they would, the minute I would go over to it or go to pick it up, it would glow, and it would glow blue. Yeah. So when we all came back for the little journey, like everybody was sharing what they saw or and when it came my turn, I shared like what I had saw. And this woman who was like maybe two people away from me went, "That was meant for me." And I looked at her and I went, "Really? It was meant for you, but I experienced it."
Right?
I don't know if
that's how that works.
I don't know if that's how that works either, but she was like, and she was adamant, "That was meant for me. You need to tell me all the details, every single bit of it." And I just started going, "Oh, I don't really remember," you know.
Right.
You know,
like, oh
but
man, I don't.
yeah.
Shucks.
It was interesting. Like, how can somebody think that was meant for them?
Right. I wonder sometimes when stuff like that happens, like maybe it was meant for them, but they, you know, but like on top of whatever your experience was, and they didn't have whatever it took energetically to continue the experience. So you happened, maybe you're like me and you're just an observer. So you do see and experience those things and you just happen to like walk in at the right time or something. And maybe those other people, like the reason they get all agitated is because maybe they stop themselves from being able to experience it, and then they just want you to tell them what happened so they can say that they experienced it.
Maybe. Yeah, that's actually a good analogy. Yep.
Because I feel like that happens with people's just stories in general. Like whenever you're sharing certain things with people, because I've had situations like that socially where somebody just turns it around like, "Oh no, yeah, absolutely, that happened to me, but like I need you to give me very intense specifics that I can agree to." And then it's like, I don't know if did this happen to you for sure? Are you positive about that?
Yeah, really. This is highly suspect behavior.
Right? Like maybe they're not in tune enough. And so like they recognize that there was information there that they were supposed to pick up on. Like maybe they asked for it and then they freaked out and didn't want to take that. But you happen to be like, "Oh, what's this?" You know?
Yeah. We are coming up on a little break right now, and we will be right back, listeners. So 3 minutes, we will be back.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here.
Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint, and the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse, morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, prepare, and enlighten one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 million miles till midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4.
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds.
Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you. You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, and welcome back to Navigating the Truth. I am your host, Caroline Bell Tumblety, and I have a lovely guest with me today. I have Zo'i Graestone, the Miss B. Welcome.
Hello again.
Hello again. That was lovely listening to you two ladies talking about your magic.
Yeah, I miss it.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in years either, so I've been trying to get back into it, but I have like a plan in my mind of like how I think it should go, which some people are like, no, you just got to do it. But I'm like, listen, man, there's so much else going on. Like I gotta plot out my mental priorities and
yeah.
But I miss doing magic.
Oh yeah, and for the listeners, it was during the break there. Tina Marie and Miss B were talking. They were reminiscing about their magic days. Yeah. I think I can see you doing that. Like,
yeah,
I can see you do a big show doing that.
Oh my gosh, I have such big ideas and big plans for it. It's like a big production that it would have to be. So people are like, "Well, you got to start ahead." And I was like, "Yeah, I've got the plan for it. It takes money that I don't have."
This seems to be a problem a lot of people are coming up against. It
Yes.
seems to be that whole monetary thing. Like, why is it not flowing? Like, this is an abundant place we live in.
Right. I've thought about that recently too. I don't remember where it was. I was having a conversation with someone recently where I was like, how is it that nobody has money? It's not like, a couple of us are really struggling. It's everyone is Oh yeah, it was Solaris, because she was saying that she's noticed a dwindling amount of activity with just people in general, but especially with, personal businesses and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels like the money is stuck. Like, I know we have dragons on the planet, like literally hoarding all the treasure.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But there has to be something else. There's some kind of an energy block or something, because
there's something.
I'm seeing more. I mean, okay, let me just disclaimer. I feel fine and can navigate because this is just kind of how my life is. I've never had money. I didn't grow up with money. The concept of money confused me so much as a young teenager because my parents never properly explained like economics. And then when I took economics classes, nothing made sense. I don't know why, but it just, much like half of math, it doesn't make sense to me. There's a piece missing somewhere that no one wants to give me. I don't know why. I could maybe I'm just stubborn. Maybe I'm just like mentally blocking it. I don't know. But
no, I don't
it
think
feels
so.
like there's something missing, because I seem to have all the ability as everyone else making a lot of money, but I'm not making any money. And like all the things I want to do require such large sums of money to go anywhere. And people they seem invested and interested in the stuff that I want to do. And I'm like, well, we could just do this as like a project of like, we're just a group of people that want to make something cool happen. Like, we don't necessarily have to put a lot of money into it, just production quality. Like, we can all bring something to the table. I always wanted to have like some kind of a big LLC where I could bring in every kind of person from everywhere. If you do something, come here, let's do a thing together. Like, I don't care if you're a plumber or a welder, or maybe you knit, or maybe you're a seamstress, maybe you are good with training animals, or you're really good with marketing, something. And we can all come together and work on some projects that, someone else wants to put together that we don't have the money for. And then maybe it becomes a group of people who are all working together to make a thing happen. And then in that thing, we're all advertised as what we can do and what we're doing in the thing, and like all the people we're connected to. And basically a giant networking.
Yeah,
bottle,
I get it.
And it's just always interesting because people are like, oh, well, if you had an investor, and I'm like, yeah, well, how do I find those? And they're like, I don't know, I don't have any money.
I know.
It's like,
I know.
okay, so and it's I can't qualify for any business loans or any government help for some reason. Like, no matter what I do, even in like dire circumstances, I've only been helped one time, and I believe it's because the universe encouraged me incorrectly to follow something. Like we were all universally, space dad included, we're just like misled by something somehow.
You have been listening to Navigating the Truth, and my guest is Zo'i Graestone. If you would like to hear the interview in its entirety, please go to kcurradio.com, and the archive is free. Thank you.